Hello, you guys. Welcome to another episode of my podcast, Things Could Be Worse. I'm your host, baileydedrick, and today I do not have my headphones on. I don't know why I felt the need to disclose that right there. If you're watching visually, you'll be able to tell that I don't have headphones on, and sometimes I do, so you might be confused. Nobody cares. Literally nobody cares, especially if you're listening to just the audio. You probably don't even know that I wear headphones sometimes, so I'm not sure what I'm even talking about. I just have a really bad headache, and I feel like if I hear myself talking in my own head, it's gonna make my headache worse because I'm just annoying and I annoy myself. So we're not wearing the headphones today. Today I'm recording a super chill episode. You might be able to tell I sound so tired. I am so exhausted. I'm so drained. I'm going to get into all of it in a second, but also chill because I don't feel that great. Like I said, I have a headache. I feel like there's some sort of sinusy infection type of thing spreading around where I live, and my best friend just had a sinus infection. Prior to that, our entire high school baseball team had some shit. So I think I'm a little under the weather, and it's just all contributing to me not having a super great time right now. But we're going to push through and we're going to record this episode because I love you guys so dearly. That sounded sarcastic. As it was coming out, I was like, oh, this sounds really sarcastic. I actually love you guys so much. And I just want to remind you that I love each and every single one of you listening or watching wherever you're at. Before I get into ranting about my current life, I'm going to politely ask you guys to leave an amazing rating and review on the pod, wherever you're listening, Spotify, Apple. If you're just watching on YouTube, you can go over and give me a rating or a review on one of the audio platforms, or just subscribe, leave me a nice comment, and I will make sure to read all, I literally read all my comments on my main channel videos. I read and pretty much every single comment that is positive. And I do the same thing on the podcast YouTube channel. So leave me a comment. I'll definitely read it and hopefully heart it if I get to it. I'm so out of breath. I don't want to be recording this episode right now whatsoever, but it literally has to go up in 2 days, and the rest of my week isn't necessarily busy, but I just have a lot going on later in the week, and I know that I need to get stuff done earlier in the week. Today is Monday, and it's a tough Monday. I'm still recovering from the weekend. Like I said in last episode, I believe, it's grad party season, so every single weekend I have a grad party to go to. If not one, I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Literally everybody and their mothers are having grad parties right now, and it's normal, and that's normally what happens, but I was not prepared. I wasn't prepared for the level of exhaustion that I feel in regards to going to 1 or 2 or more grad parties every single weekend and just socializing with people that yes, most of the people that I'm seeing are my friends, but then there's also people that I haven't seen in years or months at least, and it's just all the small talk, all of the catching up with people and stuff is just not my cup of tea recently, and I'm just tired of it. So yeah, I don't really want to talk about grad parties all that much and how tiring they are, because 1, I feel like nobody cares, and 2, I also kind of touched on it in my last episode like I just said, so I don't want to sound like a broken record, but yeah, just every single weekend is jam-packed, so much stuff, and I love that because it's summer and it's super fun, but I'm just being really, really bad, you guys. I am in a place, again, I touched on this last episode, and usually my fluctuations happen more frequently than this. Okay, this makes no sense. Basically, I go in and out of phases, and I talked about this same exact fucking thing, but I'm still dealing with it. Last week I'm still dealing with it. So I go in and out of phases of being super productive, super energetic, I love everything, I want to get everything done, super motivated, and then I go into a rut where I feel like a lazy piece of doo-doo and I can't get anything done when I want to and the way that I want to, and it's just this endless cycle that I go through, and it's been happening for years and I don't know why it happens, but it sucks. And usually it will last like a week at a time. Like the weeks fluctuate. And I think that it has something to do with like being a female. Like there was this whole deep dive that I did a couple weeks ago on like the female hormonal cycle and how like every single day a guy, why this is not even, I don't know what I'm getting into, but fuck it, enjoy it. The male like hormonal cycle is a daily occurrence. It's a 24-hour cycle. So when they wake up every day, they feel the exact same. Obviously, there's other external factors that play into how you feel and stuff. But internally, hormonally, if I got my research correct and like I understood what they were trying to say, basically like a guy's hormonal changes happen relatively at the same levels every single day. Like every day at 6 p.m., they're going to be feeling sort of the same hormonally. Obviously, like I said, it's gonna change based on what's going on in your life. But like a woman's hormonal cycle is like monthly. Like we take an entire month to like do our whole oh my God, whole hormonal cycle. So there's like certain weeks throughout your menstrual cycle, which is like your whole thing, like your whole, oh my God. I have no idea what I'm talking about, and I don't think it really seems like I do, but basically what I'm trying to get at is, from what I read, women's cycles are like 28 to 31 days. That's what like menstrual cycle, like your cycle is like 28 days. You know, we have ovulation in one of those. We have like actual like menstruation, like every single week of the month, we're going to feel different because our hormones are at different levels because of just the way that our bodies are designed. So there's certain weeks that are like proven to be, you know, more energetic, you're more happy, you're feeling more inspired, more motivated. And then there's other weeks supposedly that are like not so motivated and not so happy and like joyful and shit. So I feel like it's very normal if you're also a girl. I mean, anyone can feel this way. Anyone can feel this way. But it feels comforting knowing that there's scientific proof that like not every week you're going to feel the same. And that's biologically like proven and like normal. So hopefully if you feel the same way as me, you can find some comfort in that. Cause I definitely found a little comfort in that. Like, because I compare myself to my past self. I've been really good about stopping comparing myself to others, but I compare myself to who I was a week ago or who I was a month ago. And you know, that person that I remember a month ago could have been super inspired and productive and energetic. But like right now where I'm at, I'm not feeling like that. So it can be hard to compare myself to that past self and be like, wow, I'm not doing as well as I was. But like, especially being a girl, like there's so much, like hormones play such a big part in it and like fluctuations. That's why I encourage you all to do a deep dive on our cycles. If you're a woman and you have a period, or if you have a period and you're not a woman, I don't know. But what was I even talking about? This is going to be a long episode. Not like long, like lengthwise. Maybe it will be because I just keep talking, but long as in draining for me. I don't know, you guys. I want to like scratch this and start all over, but you guys keep telling me to like stop editing my podcast so much and just start talking. And hopefully you enjoy this because I'm really just rambling on about a bunch of random shit right now. But in today's episode, we're going to be doing something that is heavily inspired by other people. I did not come up with this idea whatsoever. I honestly was just dreading recording an episode, and I thought back to all of the people that I've seen do something like this, and I was like, oh, that is such a good idea. I want to start doing that. So that's what we're going to do. Basically, it is advice sessions where you guys send in DMs on the Things Could Be Worse pod Instagram account. You guys send me your DMs and I basically just give my best advice on whatever situation you're in, whatever you're dealing with, whatever's going on. So I hope this can help not only the people that I'm like directly responding to, but also if anybody listening is like can relate to any of the things that I'm going to talk about or is also in a similar situation. Hopefully I can help some people out today. If you guys do enjoy this episode, please let me know so that I can know if I should continue doing them or not, because I kind of have my girl talk that I've done 2 girl talks and I want to continue doing them. And they're just called Girl Talk number 1 and Girl Talk number 2. And I think I'm going to do kind of the same thing with like the advice sessions. So yeah, this is advice session number 1. Thanks so much for being here with me. I sound like a zombie right now. All right, first little DM that I got. that I'm going to try to weigh in on and give my advice is how to move on when someone you love loves someone else. And then she said, really struggling with this at the moment. Oh, honey, this is one of the worst feelings in the entire world, and I've definitely had a little bit of experience with it. And I've had friends deal with similar things, and I've tried to help them through it and like give my advice. So I feel like I don't know, this is so hard. Like there's not one piece of advice that you're going to be able to like take and just be like, okay, I'm good now. I don't need to think about this anymore. Like I'm good. That advice, it just cured me, because this is such a complex type of situation, and love is such a strange fucking thing. Like you can love somebody without wanting to whatsoever, and that is slightly the most terrifying thing ever. You can't control your feelings, and you can't control how you feel about other people in regards to those like intense feelings that you have. You can't control who you love, and that's just like end of story. There's definitely things that you can do to help combat the pain that comes with loving somebody that doesn't love you back. But basically, I would say, this is so hard. First of all, you need to know that you are good enough as you are, and you don't have to try to change yourself into a similar person as like the person that you love, like whoever they love. You don't have to try to change yourself to be more like that person or more like anybody else. I want you to know that them not loving you or them not being for you or whatever, it has nothing to do with you. And it's really important when we're young to like realize this, because I feel like this takes so many people a really, really long time to realize. But if somebody's not for you right away, not like right away, but like if somebody's not for you and they just don't care, they don't like, there's nothing there. It's so important to not force it, because anything that's meant to be, anything that's actually supposed to be in your life, you're not going to have to force, and you're not going to have to completely battle with all the time. To me, it kind of sounds like you've accepted the fact that they love somebody else and not you. And I feel like that's number one, like just accepting the fact that there's nothing that you can do to force somebody to love you, because anytime you try to do that, it's not going to be real love either. Like I don't know, things can progress and change over time, but like in every single moment, you need to take that as just a single moment and not think too far ahead and stuff. So basically, I would say realizing it and accepting it is step number one. And as much as it hurts, you just have to try to distract yourself with as many other things as possible. Try to better yourself, not like physically or whatever, just try to better yourself and become a better version of you, like deep down, and surround yourself with people that love you and care about you and that fill you with joy, and just find like healthy distractions. And it's hard, and it's gonna take a while to like get over it, because especially if you didn't necessarily date this person, I have no idea if you did or not, but it's sometimes the people that you don't date, like actually are in relationships with, that are the hardest to get over, because you have so much like potential in your head still, like, oh, the what ifs and the like what we could have been. Where like if you're in a relationship, you already know how you were together. Like if you're in a toxic relationship and you like break up, yes, it hurts. Like no matter what situation it is, like it hurts to be either breaking up with somebody or getting broken up with, and seeing them move on in any type of way. But at least if they're like, if it was a shitty relationship or they were toxic or it just wasn't a good relationship, you can like fall back on the fact that they just like weren't a good person. But when you actually don't date someone and you're just kind of in this like situationship, or you just have feelings and they don't, it can be so hard to get over, almost harder than a real relationship, because you have all of those like, I don't know, just like, what is it called? Like, no, what is the word? Like, oh my God, fantasies? I don't think fantasies is the right word, but there's like a fake reality that you've created in your head, and it can be really hard to get over that. I'm just sticking with what I originally said. Distract yourself with healthy distractions and find things that make you happy and fill you up inside. And it's going to take a while, but before you know it, you will find yourself slowly getting over it, or at least like moving on from the pain that you're in right now. So yeah, I don't know. Just remember that everything that's meant to be will be. Like, you can just put your trust in the universe or put your trust in God or whoever or whatever you believe in, or even if you don't believe in shit, just believe that from what we've seen up to this point, like, things happen how they're supposed to be, and you just have to put your faith and your belief in that whatever happens down the road is gonna happen, and it's how it's supposed to be. This is such a long answer, but I feel like it's because I don't really have like great advice to give you. But just remember that even like the shitty parts, like we hear like, oh, whatever's happened, or like whatever happens is meant to be, you know, like I was just saying that, and it can sound like really corny and stuff. And it's like, well, such shitty things happen to such great people. And how is that meant to be? Like, how is that all part of this master plan? And what's important to say with that is every single situation that you're in, whether it's the most shitty situation ever or the most amazing situation ever, is teaching you something, and it's helping you grow, and it's helping you become a better person if you choose to take that situation and become a better person from it. So, girly, I wish you luck. I want you to know that there's so many people in similar situations to you. I've been in a similar situation, and I know how bad it sucks. But for me personally, finding distractions and cutting that person pretty much completely out of my life just for my own sake was the best thing for me to do. My dad just got home and the garage is going up, so I'm gonna wait a couple minutes until he puts the garage up and then back down so it's not rumbling the entire house, because the room that I'm in recording this, like where my little studio is right above the garage. So every time that somebody's in the garage or there's a car on in the garage or the garage door is going up or down, it is so freaking loud. So I'm gonna wait a second and then we'll get back to giving some advice. Okay, I've been waiting and the garage still hasn't gone down, so I'm just gonna start, and if it ends up going down, we're just gonna have to deal with it when we get there. But this next DM says breakups and how to heal afterwards / how to be happy on your own, in parentheses, independent of a partner or friends / pressure of wanting family and kids in your 20s but being single and feeling like the time is running out. Some of these topics would be amazing. I'm not going to talk about all of these, but I'm going to pick one, and I think I'm going to pick the pressure of wanting family and kids in your 20s little comment there, just because I feel like I haven't ever talked about anything like this, and I feel like it's something that a lot of people kind of think about. So basically, I'm only 18 years old. I'm still a child. I do not need to be thinking about kids or a husband or what house I'm going to move into as my dream house or any of that. Like my purpose in life right now is to continue growing as a person and discover the things that I like and the things that I don't like and the type of person that I want to be and like strive to be. And then also just have fun. And, you know, do my best to set up my future in the best ability that I can. But like that's not the main focus. I feel like the main purpose of being young is to just make mistakes and learn from them and do great things and learn from those and just have so much fun. Like have so much fun, because this is like the last point in our lives. Like I feel like after college is when like things actually start getting serious. Like you need to figure your shit out after college. Like yes, even after high school, like going into college, you still kind of have to figure some things out. But at the end of the day, college is still such a great fun time where like it's still very carefree. You have bigger responsibilities, but it's still very carefree. So I feel like up until you graduate college, like just fucking live. Like just live. And I know, because when I was younger, I'm not even gonna be like, I'm going to be super transparent. That's what I'm trying to say. Like my parents are older than a majority of my friends' parents. I'm like the youngest kid. I have a brother that's literally almost 40. I don't even know, but like I am the youngest and my parents are on the older side for people my age. And when I was younger, I was almost like embarrassed by that, because like I had friends that's parents were literally like 30. And my mother had me when she was 39. So like my parents are old, and like that's not a bad thing. And as I've grown up, I've realized it's not a bad thing. Like it's fine. But like I always was kind of jealous of people that had like younger parents, not because like, oh, you have like a young cool mom. Like I I had like a little bit of an older, but still badass, cool mom. Like I love my parents just how they are. But since I was very little, I've had this terrible fear that my children are like, my parents are going to be like super old when I have children. And like, they aren't going to like, this sounds so fucked up to talk about, but like my parents had me late. And I don't know when my grandparents had them. Like I could do the math, but I'm not going to. But like by the time I was like 10 years old, I only had like half of my grandparents left. And like my mom's parents were divorced. So I actually have 2 sets of grandparents on her side. So that even like adds more to the equation. But like half of them are all gone now. And like so many of my friends like still have their grandparents and stuff like that. They still have great grandparents. So my biggest fear, like ever since I've been like little, is like my kids not really being able to like have a good relationship with my parents because my parents are on the older side. So unless I like get going in like my mid-20s, my parents are going to be like old. You know what I mean? Like I hate talking about this, and like I don't want my parents to like hear that that's what I'm like scared of, but it is scary. And like I know my mom, even probably my dad too, like they're probably like kind of have like the same fears or like the same kind of worry. Like my brother is 24, I think, and he doesn't have a wife. He don't even have a girlfriend. So like when's he going to get going? When is he going to start popping out grandchildren? Cuz like I don't know, but all I'm trying to say is like there's a lot of pressure, not only like societally, to like be married, especially depending on where you live. I feel like different parts of the country and obviously the world are very different. Like I feel like if you live in like a small hometown and you go to college and then you move back to your hometown and you're settled down, like I feel like it's very standard to have kids like kind of on the younger side. But then like if you're living out in like a huge city and you're just like pursuing your dreams and your passions and stuff, I feel like it's like a lot of times we're seeing that people are getting married and settling down and having kids later. I don't know. I feel like there's nothing wrong with either side of the spectrum, but me personally, I always said I was gonna have kids young because like I want my parents to be like around to be their grandparent for as long as possible. But now as I've gotten older, like I've realized that this is my life and I can't let my parents dictate it. And like I don't want to have kids like literally within the next like 10 years. Like I don't want that. I want to have kids like in my like mid-30s, honestly. Like I don't know, like I don't even know if like I do want kids, but it's like I don't want to have kids in my 20s. I want to be at least 30. And I don't know if that's like late, but like I don't care. Like I want to go live my life and like experience everything that I possibly can before I have children. Because my biggest fear is like having kids. This sounds fucked up, but like my biggest fear is having kids and then missing out. Like yes, having kids, amazing. People will tell you it's the best thing they ever do. This is not even on topic, but I guess I'm just gonna talk about whatever I want to talk about because it wasn't like a direct question, I guess. But anyways, so many people say that having kids is like the best thing you'll ever do, and it gives you a whole different type of purpose in your life. It gives you a whole different level of love. Like it unlocks so many amazing things. And yes, I do believe that's true, and I can't wait to experience that someday, hopefully. But like there's also so many other beautiful, amazing, great things in life that I want to do before I have to do that or I get to do that or whatever. I don't know, like I don't need to be popping out kids when I'm young, but I know that there's so much pressure, and I know especially like being a woman, it's scary because like we can't just, wait and wait and wait and wait. Like a guy can have kids. Like who's that super famous guy that just had a kid and he's like 74 or like 79 or something crazy? I do not remember his name. Like I didn't even know that was possible. Like guys can just like have kids whenever they want. Apparently. I thought by that point you would definitely just be like shooting out like dust, like literal dust, spider webs and shit. But apparently you can just keep having kids, whereas like a woman, you can't like do that. There is like a cutoff. There is. You don't keep producing eggs. Like however many eggs you're born with, that's all you get. Like that's all you get. And for some people it's different. By the age of like 35 that can be gone, or like 40, 45. Usually by like 40s, you're getting a little suspect. Like there's a lot of women that try to have kids in their 40s. Like even for my mom, like she had me when she was 39, and I'm pretty sure she had to get like special like stuff done that like normal people throughout pregnancy don't have to get because she was older and there's like more of a risk. Sorry. But yeah, like you can't wait forever as a woman. I mean, ideally not as a guy either. I don't know how guys view that, but like I feel like guys aren't in such a rush because they don't have this like internal ticking time bomb for children where like women do. So I feel like there's a lot more pressure on women to like find a husband, settle down, have kids at like a younger age than maybe guys feel pressure for. I don't know. But I think, it isn't that deep. Like no matter what happens, like you're gonna be able to like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. This is kind of hard. I just feel like we need to stop putting so much pressure on ourselves. And I feel like there shouldn't be a pressure to like find somebody to marry when you're like you shouldn't feel this pressure to be married by the time you're 25. Because my brother, 24, he's still a child. Like I can't imagine him like married with a wife. And he shouldn't be. And obviously if he wanted to be, then he could. But like, I don't know, when we were younger and like when I was younger, I viewed ages a lot differently. Like I thought when you were 20, you were like a full ass adult. And now I have friends that are 20 and I'm 18 and I am a little baby, precious little baby. Like I'm not anywhere near that. So like, I don't like thinking about it. Oh my fucking God. Okay, sorry. I had to go yell at my family because they're like I can't even, it infuriates me. Like you don't realize how annoying things are until like you're trying to like actually do something and like there's all this annoying shit happening in the background. I've heard this garage door, not like the literal door, but like the door that you open, like a door handle. I've heard this open and shut, not even fucking kidding, 6 times. Like what the fuck are you doing? Go inside or go out. What's going on? So, I had to let them know to shut the fuck up. No, I didn't say it like that. But, yeah, I don't know. I always try to record when my dad's not home because I swear to God, he's always like stomping around. He's always like yelling, like not yelling, like angry, but like when he communicates to like my brother, he doesn't go by my brother. He like will yell from upstairs to downstairs. It's like, shut up. Like, shut up. Sorry. I don't get it. I swear that I don't make that much noise. But anyways, what was I talking about? I don't know. I feel like I get the pressure and I get like the fear. It's like, oh my God, am I ever going to get married? Am I ever going to have kids? Like what's going to happen? I get like the future can be very scary and like we like to think about it. But the more you think about it, the more stressful I feel like it gets. You just kind of have to let things happen and believe that you're going to find your person and you're going to find the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. It might be next year. It might be in 3 years. It might be in 10 years. And you just have to find comfort in the fact, once again, I feel like this is such like a cop-out answer, but like the second that you start just believing that everything's going to fall into place and that things that are meant to happen are going to happen, and like as soon as you start believing that, it truly takes so much stress and anxiety off of your shoulders. Like the second that I start stressing out about, the future or even just like the next month or 2 or 3 or like what I'm going to do next year, the second that I just remind myself that I can create the reality that I want, like whatever energy I put out, whatever I go do, I can actively change and like make my life whatever I want it to be. And along the way, like things are going to fall into place. Like, yes, you still have to put effort in and you still have to like, if you're trying to find a husband, like you have to actively go seek out a husband. Like he's not just going to like fall from the sky and land on your front yard. But like at the same time, when you're actively like seeking things, I feel like sometimes you don't find them. It's when you're not looking that you find those type of things. So I don't know. I feel like just, again, believe that things are going to fall into place, and however your life is supposed to be, it's going to end up being. But I want you to know that if you are in your 20s and you don't have it figured out and you don't have a husband, you don't have, you're not even dating anybody, or you don't have kids, or you don't have a house, whatever the case may be, times are changing, and I feel like it is very standard to have that happen later in your life now, and you're not actually running out of time. Like, yes, you technically are in regards to like the kid thing, but like in your 20s, you're still so young. You still have a lot of time. Like 10 years is a lot of time. So much time. So just try not to stress too much. Okay, the next DM is advice on meeting a really nice and cool guy, but I'm leaving for college in 2 months. This is so tough, but I'm going to be so straight up and so blunt and honest with you. You do not want a relationship going into college unless you are already in like an amazing relationship. And when I say amazing relationship, I mean you do not have a single doubt. A single doubt. Like, like I know that sounds extreme. Obviously, doubts come and go in relationships. It's normal to like have a little argument and then be like, okay, wait. But like they come and go. If you have like a constant nagging feeling that this isn't the right person for you and you're going to college soon, the best thing that you can do for yourself is to break up. Don't be trying long distance if you're already freaking out about the fact it's not going to work, because if you don't believe it's going to work, it's not going to work. Also, with that being said, it's not worth it to get yourself involved in something when you're leaving that soon. If this guy is like the most amazing guy ever, you know, it doesn't hurt to stay in contact and to like be friends and, you know, flirt and whatever, but I wouldn't commit to anything. You said you are, so I wouldn't commit to anything before you go to school. If you go to school and a year passes and you still haven't met anybody that you're like remotely like interested in, and you still like keep thinking about this guy and you guys are still in contact, then maybe if you guys are like on the same page, then further down the road it can be a thing. I was actually just giving advice to one of my friends 2 nights ago. I don't even know when, but they were talking to me about how they've had feelings for this person for a really long time, and they've expressed their feelings and they're in different places. The person that they're interested in lives in a whole different place. They have a whole different path, you know, going on right now. They're in a whole different part of their life. And the person that I was talking to, I'm really trying to not be descriptive whatsoever. But the person I was talking to like lives here. And the other person doesn't. So I was explaining like, you know, if you think it's really, really worth it, you know, then go for it. But only if you think it's really, really worth it. Otherwise, the best thing that you can do is to, again, distract yourself. This is kind of like hard because like you didn't say that like you're like in love with this guy. You just said he's like cool and nice. But yeah, I would say fuck it. Like, don't get tied into anything. I'm saying this as I'm in a relationship. I'm not going to school like I'm going to be with my boyfriend next year. But like later on down the road, like I'm thinking about moving, and, you know, it's a hard conversation to have. Like, I don't want to break up with my boyfriend, but we've also been dating for 3 years, and like I don't have like all of these doubts and all of these fears and stuff. Like, I truly believe we could make long distance work. No problem. It would be tough and it would suck, but like I believe we could make it happen. So there's just like, it really depends on like that gut feeling. Like if this guy you feel like is perfect for you, then go for it, or at least like pursue it a little bit, and then make that judgment. But I would say straight up, bluntly, honestly, don't fucking get into anything. Don't get into anything because you're going to go to school and you're going to meet so many new people. And not that being in a relationship is bad, but like when you are, like it does prevent you from doing certain things. And I'm not just saying hooking up with people, but I'm saying even just like talking to people, meeting new people. Like if you're in a relationship, it's kind of not great to like go to the bar and just like meet a bunch of new guys and like talk to them all night. Even if you have no ill intentions, like it's just like a respect thing. Like if you're in a relationship, that's not something you should probably be doing. So like even just meeting new people and making new friends, it can be tricky. So I would say just don't get into anything. Continue being friends with this person, you know, like advance your friendship, but I wouldn't try to commit to a relationship or anything like that. Okay, the next DM is a completely different like side of things. I feel like those were very like personable and like, you know, deep, where this one is literally just how to take better photos, how to be more photogenic, how to be comfortable with taking photos in public, etc. I usually struggle with those, so advice would be great. Love from Spain. I love you too. I completely get this. Like even me being an influencer, Instagram model, no, I'm kidding. But even me like being in the public eye, like I've been taking Instagram pictures and doing like photo shoots in the middle of my town since I was literally in like 6th grade. right? I've been doing this for so long. I've been going and traveling and taking pictures in new places. I've been doing it for so long, and it still always kind of feels a little weird. I think the thing that's helped me the most is to realize that nobody is going to remember like for more than like 10 minutes. Or more than 5 minutes. Like if you're taking pictures outside and people walk past you and they kind of look at you kind of weird for a second, it's because like they're just like caught off guard. It's not because they like actually care. Especially now, I feel like social media and taking Instagram pictures and stuff is so normal that like nobody is gonna like think about that for like the rest of their day. Be like, what the fuck was that girl doing taking pictures? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's such a more normal thing. And I know it can feel so, like, weird when you're doing it and there's just, like, people walking by and, like, it can be embarrassing or it can feel just, like, super strange. Because I've felt that and I completely understand what you're saying. But I found so much comfort in the fact that you're never going to see most of these people again, ever. Like, most of these people, like, you're not going to see any of these people again. Unless you're in, like, a super, super tiny town and you know everybody that walks past you. You're never going to see these people again. They're never going to see you again. And, you know, life is too short to give a fuck about anything. About anything. It's too short to give a fuck what people think of you. It's too short to feel embarrassed over something that's not embarrassing. Just, you know, practice, I would say, as far as like being photogenic and like being able to take good pictures, just practice. Like practice truly doesn't make perfect, because I've been practicing for a damn long time and I still don't really know how to take a good Instagram photo for some reason. But practice in the mirror, like practice poses in the mirror, and just like it's not fucking weird. Like just practice. And go take pictures with your friends and your family or whatever, whoever you take Instagram pictures with. Like sometimes my brother takes them for me, sometimes my friends take them for me, it depends. But like go take pictures more and more and more. And the more you do it, the more comfortable you're gonna get with it. And like it's not embarrassing. Like for some reason it feels so embarrassing, like having pictures taken of you, but it's really not. Like if you actually think about it, there's nothing embarrassing about it. Like, oh, what, she's taking pictures of herself or taking pictures of herself, she's like self-centered. No, because every single person for the most part like posts on Instagram these days. So like, I don't know, it's not that deep. I would say just practice and do it more and you'll get more comfortable with it, on top of just remembering that you're never going to see any of these people ever again. So if you see, you know, somebody walk past you while you're taking them and you get all embarrassed, like fuck it, who cares? Okay, the next one is another deep one, and it's very, very long. I'm going to take a sip of water quick because I am so dehydrated. Okay, next one. It says, I feel so out of place when it comes to dating. I've never had a guy show actual interest in me, and it hurts seeing all of my friends talking to guys and goofing around with them, and me, nothing. The worst part is it starts getting into your head and you start questioning your self-worth. You know, like, what is wrong with me? That no one seems to like me? Is it my personality? Am I too much? I feel like crying just thinking about this. I mean, I'm always told how nice and charismatic I am, but apparently I'm never going to be nice and charismatic enough. Please, if you could just give your advice, it would mean the world to me. This makes me really, really sad, but I completely feel you. And whether you want to believe that or not, I definitely went through the same thing pretty much like all of my life up until I got my boyfriend. I always felt that nobody was interested in me, and I never really had guys like showing me interest until I got a boyfriend, which is really fucked up if you think about it. I don't think it's solely the purpose or like solely the purpose. I don't think me getting a boyfriend is like the only reason that happened. I think it was also just like, you know, I was going through my glow up, quote unquote, like my little glow up era. A lot of things were changing. I was changing. I was becoming a different person. I definitely grew up. So like those all factor into it. But I will tell you, like all throughout middle school, all throughout the beginning of high school, like my friends were always having like boyfriends and, you know, going on little dates and getting like attention from guys. And I literally never did. Like there was like a few guys that I talked to, like, I don't know, this is like very vulnerable and I've never shared this. Like I don't even like talk about this with my friends because like now it's in the past and like I'm low-key like embarrassed that like this is what I felt. But I feel like, I mean, just based off of this, like a lot of people can probably relate. There was like times when I would like be, you know, talking, quote unquote to like guys in like middle school and stuff, but it was always for like a week and a half, and it was never anything real. And I don't think they actually liked me. I think they just liked me because I liked them type of thing. But I don't know. I always kind of felt like I wasn't good enough for like like I always thought that like boys didn't think I was pretty, boys didn't think I was funny, boys like didn't seek me out, like nobody was interested in me. And I feel like when you're young and you feel that way, that can be like very damaging, because then you almost like try harder to like gain that attention, and like that's the last thing you want to do. Because number one, I want to say boys are stupid all the time but especially when you're young, and you know, it might not have anything to do with you, but it also could be the fact that you aren't like fully grown into yourself yet. And I know that's a really hard thing to like realize and come to terms with, but I think looking back on it, I didn't present myself in a way that like a guy would find. I don't know, like I wasn't actively trying to not like, I'm not saying like be pretty, like I wasn't presenting myself pretty enough or whatever. Like I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about like inner confidence and just like being confident in the person I am and like making jokes with people and like being a good person. I feel like I didn't understand who I was, and like I don't know how old you are. Like you don't say, I don't know, but like I assume you're younger, like or my age or younger. I don't really know. This is really hard, but I need you to realize that your worth as a person does not come from the attention that you get from boys. And I feel like the sooner we all, as like the woman species, we all need to realize this. And the sooner that we all realize this, the easier that our lives will all be. Because I mean, I can say like, oh yeah, I don't care what guys think. Like I don't care like if guys think I'm pretty, but like at the end of the day, I care if people think I'm pretty. Like I want to be pretty. And it's almost embarrassing to say that because, you know, I strive to be like, oh yeah, it doesn't matter how you look, like it matters the type of person that you are. But like we all have this like this internal thing of like wanting to be pretty and like wanting to be attractive and like wanting people to want us in some type of ways. So like, I don't know, I feel like it never goes away, but like as soon as you realize that it has nothing to do with you, like if you're young, it has nothing to do with you because you're going to grow into yourself and it's going to eventually happen. Like you're not going to live your entire life with nobody ever being interested in you. And I feel like that's how it can feel because like you're young and those type of things feel so significant. Like that's exactly how I felt. Like I was like, oh my God, I'm never going to get a husband. I was in 8th grade. I couldn't get a boyfriend. And I was like, I'm never going to get married. I'm never going to have kids because no boys like me. And then it just took a little bit of confidence. It took me kind of growing into myself, learning how to, I don't know, just present myself confidently and, you know, be a radiant person that like exudes good energy. And that's when people started finding me attractive, or at least like I started noticing it. And I hate talking about this. Like I don't like talking about this at all, but like I felt like the second that I just started being more confident and like walking around like I knew what the fuck I was doing even when I didn't, that's when like I started getting, you know, looks. And this was like previous to my boyfriend, but like it was like the same time that my boyfriend and I like started dating is the time that I started getting all of this like attention, or I started noticing it, because I truly think it's because I switched up my energy. I could go into a whole different topic about me and my boyfriend and how we got it started dating. I've explained this on the podcast a little bit, but I liked my boyfriend for like 2 years before we actually started dating. Like I have liked him forever. It was just like on and off. Like I always kind of felt like something was there, and he just didn't give me that energy back. Like I felt so unattractive to him. I was like, why doesn't he want me? Because for the longest time I wanted him and he didn't show any interest. So even with my actual boyfriend now, like I felt that in the beginning. And I felt like the second that I just like stopped being such a little simp ass bitch and like doing everything to try to get him to like me back, that's exactly the time that things switched and he was like, oh wait, I kind of love this girl. So I feel like the second that you just start living your life for you and not worrying about the attention that you get from other people, that's when people start noticing you, because you're confident with yourself and you're loving yourself and you show that you don't need anything from anybody. So that's something to think about. I know how hard it can be, but I promise you're not going to feel like this forever. I think that it's just a part of growing up, and I think a lot more people deal with this than you realize. Okay, somebody said how to deal with an unwanted crush. You know, when you start building ideas about them and making them perfect, quotations, there's quotations there, perfect, and then suddenly you like an idea in your head. I hope this makes sense. Yeah, so this has happened to me. This was my boyfriend. When I started liking my boyfriend, that was such an unwanted crush. We were supposed to be best friends, and then things happen. You know what I mean? There was tension where there was tension, and things happen, and one thing led to another, and before you know it, little Miss Me had an unwanted crush. A very unwanted crush, because I didn't want anyone, like, I didn't want to feel that way, especially at that time. Like, I did not want to feel that way. I was like 14, 15, how old was I don't even fucking know. That's crazy. I literally started liking my boyfriend when I was like 14, and I'm 18 now. Oh my god. Anyways, yeah, like, I did not want that crush. There was other unwanted crushes. I feel like a lot of times, like, things just happen. This kind of goes back, like, all full circle to the first thing that I answered. And it's the fact that you can't control who you have feelings for. You can't control your feelings, and you can't control who you love. And I know a crush is way different than love, but, like, you know, you get it. Like, you get it. You can't control who you have a crush on. Same fucking difference. Basically, unwanted crushes. This is so hard. I feel like when I was younger, like, before I had a boyfriend, sorry, I would have, like, a random crush on a guy. Like, I would have a different crush on a guy, like, every couple of weeks. No? Was that just me? But it would only happen for, like, a short period of time. There was, like, 6 months where, like, every week I had a different crush. And I was like, none of these are real crushes. But, like, that can happen. Or, like, you know, you do just get an unwanted crush, and then it turns into this huge thing, and you're always thinking about them. And you don't know why, because you don't want to be thinking about them. And you don't want this thing to progress. But, like, something in your head is telling you that you want it to progress. And it can be so, so annoying and, like, almost, like, painful, because, like, you have all of these, like, perfect ideas of what you guys could be, or, like, what a relationship with them would be like. And then at the same time, it's like, I don't even want a relationship with them, but, like, I do I? I don't know. Unwanted crushes are very hard to navigate, but I would say, you know, if you really don't want this crush, the best thing that you can do is to cut off contact. And I always say cut off contact, and people are like, whoa, like, cut off contact. But, like, yeah, fucking cut off contact, or at least stop talking to them as much as you are, because I doubt you have, like, an unwanted crush if you're not even talking to them. Like, if you have a class with them and, like, you're talking to them every single day in class, like, find someone fucking else to talk to. If you don't want to like this person, find somebody else to talk to, because you're not gonna have this crush, like, if you don't talk to them at all, most likely. You know, there's always things that happen, but, like, if you just have a little crush and you stop talking to them, that crush is probably going to go away, especially if you start talking to, like, new people other than that. This is what happened to me. I had an unwanted crush, and I kept hanging out with this motherfucker. I kept showing up at this guy's house at 2 a.m. And that unwanted crush soon turned into a painstaking journey that took 2 years. But I finally got him. So if you want to go that route, it's a lot more fucking difficult. It was worth it in the long run for me. Might not be for you. Might be for you. I don't know. There's so many things. There's so many ways you can play out this situation. But I would probably tell you, if it's super unwanted and you don't actually fuck with it, like, you don't fuck with the idea, you don't actually want it deep down, just stop talking to them as much. And that should help. I swear I make no sense. Why do you guys listen to this? Do you guys actually like this, or are you, like, listening to be nice? Because that's how I feel sometimes. I'm like, do these people actually find me interesting? Because there's no way. I think I'm going to do one more really quickly. This episode is kind of long, I think. I don't know. I actually have no idea. It's, like, very standard episode length, actually, so far. But I'm sick of talking. I feel like I've been talking a lot. So next little piece of advice that I'm going to answer is, oh gosh, what one should I do? There's so many. I feel so bad every time I get, like, questions or, like, things like this directly from you guys, because I feel so bad not answering all of them, but it's physically impossible to answer them all in one episode. Okay, somebody just said situationships, period. Please, period. I'm in the trenches right now. Oh, girly. Oh, girly. This is kind of similar to like what I was just talking about, like with the unwanted crush a little bit. I guess this is like a whole advice episode on like dating and boys, honestly. I mean, there was a few other things, but like, um, situationships. Oh my God. Do not fucking do that. Don't do it. Situationships are so bad. Are so bad. So bad. Sorry, I'm being so dramatic, but I just got chills, full body chills thinking about when I was in a situationship. And I was just talking about it too. Like, what even is a situationship? Can we get the definition? Because I don't want to like start talking out of my ass. Because like I know what a situationship is, but like what is like the actual definition? Is it like friends with benefits and then you start developing feelings? Or is it like you guys are kind of like, what is it? What even situationship? Urban Dictionary. I love how I get all of my like search results on Urban Dictionary for this podcast. Every time I look something up, I look it up on Urban Dictionary because it's never like a real thing. It's always just like a random word that like we use in society. Okay, a situationship. When one or two motherfuckers take part in a relationship, but out of fear of making things serious or messy, do not label it, leading to said relationship, ironically becoming more serious and messier. A situationship is emotional trauma in a gift box. Another one says, let's chill, have sex, and be confused on the fact that we are not together but have official emotions for each other. Okay, yeah, fuck a situationship. A relationship that has no label on it, like a friendship, but more than a friendship, but not quite a friendship. Yeah. Run. No. I was in a little situationship for a long time, and we literally, like, I don't know why it was this way. Like, I don't even know, like, looking back on it, like, was I Delulu or was I like, I mean, I couldn't have been Delulu because now we've been dating for 2.5 years. So, like, I wasn't Delulu. I definitely was feeling what was going on, but, like, I felt crazy for being the only one or thinking I was the only one that was seeing it. So we were like in this phase where like I didn't really feel like we were friends. I mean, right away, like we were definitely just friends and we like kind of hooked up a couple times here and there. And by hooking up, I don't mean sex. Hookup can be very misconstrued. For me, a hookup is like, actually, no, I lied. In my eyes, a hookup, like hooking up with somebody is sleeping with them, where some people think hooking up is just like kissing someone. For this context, we're going to use hooking up like is just like kissing. Maybe it's just not sex, okay? It's not sex. So we were like, you know, sometimes to being a little sneaky, and then one thing led to another, and I was in love with him. I've said this multiple times. And he wasn't showing that same energy. I literally just told this story, but this is going somewhere else, I promise. Okay, sorry. It sucks, but like, y'all, I would have saved so much time and energy if I just would have like said the way that I felt, because we were both feeling it, just neither of us wanted to say it. Like, I refused. I would not fucking say anything. And I still don't even know, like, because I have a huge fear of rejection. I feel like a lot of people do. I was not about to say something, because if I would have said something and embarrassed the fuck out of myself, I would have literally killed myself. So, yeah, but I would say looking back on it, I definitely wish that I just would have said something sooner, because it would have got the ball rolling. You know, we wouldn't have been stuck in this little situationship for as long as we were before we started dating. But that being said, I feel like situationships are so stupid. Like, if you want to do like a super chill little, you know, we're not dating, but we're friends with benefits and we have feelings, but like, you know, things just aren't really, it's not a good time for a really, but this, you both have to feel this way, because if one of you feels this way, don't be with them, bro. Like, if you're trying to be in a relationship with this guy or this girl, whoever I'm talking to right here, if you're trying to be in a relationship or you really fucking care about this person, you love them, you want something more, and they're dead set on the fact that a relationship just isn't what I need right now, or like, I'll like hang out with you, but like, I just can't, we can't make it official. Like, I just can't do that. Like, it's too much for me right now. I'm still healing. I have too much going on. I'm too busy for a relationship. I wouldn't be good in a relationship right now. Fuck him. Fuck her. Absolutely not. If you say it and that's how they respond and you're just still getting dragged along, you should dip. You should dip. I know it's gonna fucking hurt. I know it sucks, but like, you are wasting your fucking time. They are wasting your time. Because if I would have said something sooner, it would have played out differently, and we would have just started dating sooner than we did. It would have became official a lot sooner, but neither of us were communicating that. If I would have communicated that and then he would have been like, absolutely not, like, I don't want a relationship, then, you know, it would have played out differently, obviously. But like, I probably would have just been embarrassed, and then I would have been like, all right, bye. Bye. Because like, I was looking for a relationship with him because I had such intense feelings for him. And if he would have been like, nope, then I would have been like, bye, I'm gonna go hang myself. Sorry, that's dark. Basically, situationships, not good. They're good if it's like the beginning of something. If it's the beginning of something and things like you're flirty, you're fun, you're having fun, you guys are kind of exploring a new territory of your friendship and it's turning more whatever. If it is the beginning, if it's a progression stage from being friends to being something more, then situationships are fine. But if it's been a while, if it's been a fucking minute and it's still just in the same place and like you bring up wanting more and they're like not for it, red fucking flag and run. Run for the hills. That's all I gotta say. But it could be like the start of something really beautiful, or it could honestly be the beginning of your demise. So take that into consideration. I don't really think that was advice, but I gotta go. Yeah, I gotta go, man. All right, you guys, that's gonna be it for this episode. I honestly think my favorite episodes that I've done have been advice episodes, like whether that's girl talk advice or this advice. I think that it's my favorite thing to do. So give me more like concepts or topics, or like not topics, but like give me more things specifically that I could like make a series of me getting input from you guys. Like, I know I don't know, I can't even think of what another one would be besides just like general advice. I mean, we could break it up into like different, like we have a girl talk and then we have like a boy talk. Like, not about boy stuff, but like dating talk or like situationship talk. You know what I mean? Like, we could make it more specific to certain topics so that we can kind of like split it up better. Or we can just keep it as advice and keep it super broad every single time. I don't fucking know. Let me know. Let me know what else you guys want me to talk about in upcoming episodes. Just let me know. Any ideas that you have, I'm so open to trying new things. Again, this is still such a new podcast. Like, I think this episode, 17, maybe? 16, 17? I think 17, which is fucked. That's so fucked. That's like half a pregnancy right there. I've been carrying this baby for half of a pregnancy, almost. Why did I just make that, okay, fuck, bro, fuck. Yeah. This is how my brain works on an average day. I think I have something like actually wrong with me and I should probably go like try to get a diagnosis for like my own comfort. But like, there's no way that this is how an average person's brain works. Like, I wish there's gotta be something. There's gotta be. I know there's something. I'm not trying to play victim here, or like play victim is crazy. Not like play victim, but I'm not trying to be like, oh my God, I want to be diagnosed with, like, I fucking know there's something wrong with me. I know it. But it just doesn't affect me enough, I don't think, to the fact where it's like urgent. What? Okay, fuck off. Why did I tell you guys to fuck off? I'm sorry. I was telling myself to fuck off, but it came out as me telling you guys to fuck off. Drinking more water. I'm gonna go. This is actually really bad, like where this has ended off. So I love you guys. Rate and review the pod. Go follow the socials, Things Could Be Worse pod on Instagram and TikTok. And tune in every single fucking Wednesday on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or visually on YouTube to watch my amazing podcast. It's actually not that amazing, but we have a good time, and I think that it's kind of fun and comforting maybe. But it's not an amazing podcast. Maybe someday. All right. Bye.